Bluff City Media presents The Anthony Sain Show with your host, Anthony Sain. Now, let's get to the show.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Anthony Sain Show. This is, of course, your host, Anthony Sain, here with my guy, man, Kenny Stubblefield in the building. Kenny, what's going on, my brother?
We in the house, man. I'm dealing with I think I'm getting what you got, man. I got
bro,
the
this
allergies,
shit,
my voice.
I think everybody got this shit, bro. Everybody got this shit. I'm going on week 2 of this shit, bro. I had it. It started off, the kids were, not gay, but the girls were like coughing and sneezing the crap, right?
Yeah.
And then Gabe came over that weekend, and Gabe's mom was telling me, oh, Gabe's got a little whatever going on. I was like, okay, cool. So then I started coughing and sneezing. That weekend, I got sick. I got sick for real.
Yeah.
I started ODing on the meds. I was cool. I was like, Julia, you better get sick now or you gonna miss work next week. You know what I mean? Because it's coming for you. So she got it like maybe last Sunday or last Monday or something. So she was sick and she got down sick and missed 2 days of work. And I got sick again. And everybody I read is talking about, man, it's not really rough. It's just kind of lingering. It won't go away.
Yeah,
it doubles up, like it'll leave and then come back. I'm like, bro, whatever this is, it's crap. And she went to the doctor and they said that she didn't have COVID. It's just a virus going around. But man, this shit is
for the birds.
For the birds, bro. Straight trash, man. But we got a very special guest today, man. You know, here on the Anthony Sain Show, sometimes we'll hit y'all with a surprise guest. We don't tell y'all who coming, man. Yeah. This is my guy, man. The coldest beat writer in the city of Memphis, man. Just got back tricking off somewhere overseas, man. I'm sure he's gonna be. I don't know if he posted pictures, man, but I'm sure he got plenty of pictures of him in trick action, full blown trick action. My guy, Damichael Cole is in the building. Damichael Cole, what's going on, my brother?
What's going on, fellas? What's going on? He said tricking out trick action. I'm overseas. That's wild, man. That's my intro now since I've been on here so many times.
Exactly.
Hey, you've been on here probably more than anybody, man. For sure, in the history of the Anthony Sain Show, you probably have been my guest more than anybody, man. Nobody in the city can talk with as much knowledge and insight about the Grizzlies as my guy. Also, the co-host of Locked On Grizz with Joe Mullinax. I'm sure you're not used to being on the screen with people who don't take up 80% of the screen with the Zoom. I've been watching Joe doing it for years. I don't even know how he does it. Like, if I tried to be that zoomed in on the screen, I couldn't do it, bro. But
man, shout out to Joe Mullinax, man.
Yeah, my guy, man. One of the OGs. It ain't
By the way,
what is left for me and Joe started this shit, bro?
What is going on over there at Locked On Sports, man? What is this number 28 with Jahmai? What is this nonsense?
Look, man, your guess is good as mine. I mean, we bring a lot of those people on the show over the course of the year when certain teams are playing certain teams, and I would like to think a lot of the Locked On people are pretty knowledgeable. Like they know what they're talking about. But I don't. Look, me and Joe said we gonna get into it, man. We're gonna see, because somebody for him to be that low, that means somebody had to have him ranked probably 35, 40.
Way down there, because it's the average, right? So
that's the average, That's with all crazy. That's wild. Yeah.
What is it like? They did a ranking like top players in the league.
Yeah. We all had to kind of submit a ballot, top 100 players. Everybody submitted their ballot. Then you get the meeting. Yeah.
That's either hating or guys just forgetting and didn't really know where to put them. Like, oh shit, Ja Morant. And they just kind of stuck him somewhere. That sound like what they had to be. I'm gonna give them some type of benefit of the doubt, man. But like I said, we do have my guy, Damichael Cole, who I believe has been on the show probably more than anybody. Yeah, bro, you've been on him more than anybody. I never had anybody on as much as you, for sure, bro. We're gonna talk a couple of Grizzly things, man. Most of this is just speculative. Ain't much been going on, man. So we're just gonna do a quick recap with you, catching up with you, man. While it's still the summer, we're still a few weeks away from NBA training camp, media day, all those type of things. So real quick, man, the most recent news that happened was the Grizzlies did sign Olivier Maxence Prosper to a 2-way deal, which of course brought up questions about Jamai Mashack. Fellow volunteer of yours, you got your volunteer shit on, man.
I always got orange somewhere,
Yeah, for sure. The basic understanding, as far as I'm concerned, is that you've got time with Jamai Mashack. He's a guy who you've still got his draft rights. You don't have to sign him at all this year. He can play in the hustle. And as things happen, as the roster shifts, as things happen, as things change throughout the season, there's always going to be an opportunity to bring him up. Is it that cut and dry, or is there something else that might be going on with that Jahmai Mashack situation, in your opinion?
Yeah, it's pretty much that cut and dry. And I see Parrish comment as well. Parrish,
No,
you don't
Paris is
count.
a co-host.
Yeah,
Paris
you don't count, Parrish.
Paris is a co-host. Get that man.
That don't count. Yeah.
He doesn't count. But
Yeah.
regarding
he just got the sum off to go live a normal life. I ain't gonna put him through the punishment of a daily show during the off season. Yeah, he just got the time off. But yeah, go ahead.
Sure. But with Jamai, yeah, it's pretty cut and dry. Like the number one thing that you always got to go back to is this is a guy that the Grizzlies value. From all the conversations that I've had with people around the Grizzlies, like it's not a situation where it's like, we don't believe in him or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's more so one, when you look at the numbers, the guard position is pretty stacked right now. Like it's like you got a bunch of guys that can play the 1 to 2 on the roster, and then when you add in Javon Small, who's already on the 2-way, it's a lot of it's a numbers game at the end of the day. And when you look at all the positions, right? You look at all the positions on the roster, and then I'm gonna circle back to Jamai one more time. But when you look at all the positions, the one position where you say, man, if they lose a guy, they're gonna have to play guys out of position. Right now, is power forward. That's the only position on the roster where if Santi or Jaren, I mean, we're talking about Jaren possibly, I think we'll see, but I think it's a decent chance he'll be back at the beginning of the season. But if he's not, you got Santi Aldama. Santi gets in foul trouble, then you're either moving, Gigi Jackson, John Conchar down to kind of a small ball 4 role, or you're moving a guy like Brandon Clark over to the 4, and then you got to play a 5 who can stretch the floor a little bit more. Like it gets real complicated in that situation because you don't have another natural 4. But Olivier gives that option. He is that option. He played. He started some games with Dallas. Like he never put up really good numbers or anything, but it's another natural 4 that you have on the roster to kind of add to that depth. But getting back to Jamai, but with the point with him is, he'll be in the G League, and I know people were questioning like the whole thing, like, oh, is he going to get an Exhibit 10? I don't see that happening. Going back to, this is a guy that the Grizzlies value, and you don't throw a guy that you value, that you drafted, Exhibit 10.
Exhibit 10, yeah.
Because what you eventually have to do is, before training camp ends or whatever, you got to waive him. And when you waive him, every other team in the league has to pass on him before him to come back to you, and you get his G League rights and things like that. So if you're confident in 29 other teams saying, we don't want him after the way he played in Summer League, I don't see that happen. So I think Exhibit 10's out of the question. As if you're one of those people you really care about the players a lot, he's going to be playing on the G League salary probably to start off his career. So that ain't too fun. But he a dog. So I do think from a speculative standpoint, whenever that next 2-way slot opens up or there's a little roster movement, he's going to be the first guy they're thinking about.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of time thing with him, and I'm sure they properly communicated with him. Bro, we want you around. It's a numbers game. Let us work this out the best way we can that makes sense for us and for you as well. Because when people are saying like, oh, why ain't they giving him a 2-way? I was like, man, you just got to slow down, man. Like, we just too quick to give out contracts. You know what I mean? Like, you have that guy's rights. Not a knock at him. I mean, but it's just you kind of wait for these type of things to happen, like Olivier, OMax Prosper coming open. Like, a guy who's got NBA experience, who could play the 4 to 3, guard multiple positions. Like, you kind of keep those open just in case these type of things happen. And you can always do whatever you're going to do with him. I think it's going to be some type of consolidation trade happens before the season's over. I hear people say things like cut Conchar and all this. I don't think the Grizzlies, they're not desperate.
It just ain't that simple.
It's not happening, bro. Like, they're not just going to eat salary just to sign Mashack. Like, that's not happening, bro. So
I have a question for y'all that I've been wanting to ask. And Damichael, you being honest, perfect. Do you think that it's unique to Memphis, the Memphis Grizzlies especially? This fan base falls in love with players quickly, right? Like Jamai,
15 man dudes.
Jahmai Mashack, right? Great player, Mr. Irrelevant, right?
Yeah.
Did well in the Summer League. But the question about signing OMax Prosper was met with, what about Jamai?
As if we know anything. Like, we never seen this kid play a single NBA game ever. Yeah.
Is that unique to Memphis, or is that a across the board NBA fan base type of thing?
I think it's like a kind of sort of thing, because I don't think in certain bigger markets where you've had a lot of success, like a the Lakers, you probably wouldn't see that much. Boston, you probably wouldn't see it as much, or like as much as we see it around here. But Memphis, I mean, we get it out the mud around here, just the city in general. So like those rags to riches type stories and things like that. Like that's what we like to see. Like we saw Tony Allen, come here after tearing his ACL and not really getting the biggest role in Boston, so to speak, become like a legend here, in Memphis. And Zebo was Zebo, but still, like he's known
Mount Rushmore type of player.
Yeah. That's how he's kind of looked at in Memphis, and it's not like that anywhere else he played. So it's just like we kind of gravitate to those guys, and that's Jamai. Like he's not that guy that's gonna come over here and gonna have on this nice shiny fit and all this bling and be too bougie or anything like that. Like he coming here to dive on the floor 15 times a game if he have to.
Yeah, I think Memphis is a city that just loves an underdog, and I think a guy like him, he definitely fits that mold. And we like to see a guy.
How much emphasis do you think the front office is putting on that, though? Like they're not on Jahmai Mashack.
Yes, I think
that prototype. Yep. That's what this whole offseason has been. It's none of these moves that they've made for the most part have been flashy, because you let go of Desmond Bane and you got back, basically a veteran role player and some picks. Like there's nothing flashy about that, but at the end of the day, there's a grittiness to it. There's a Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is supposed to be this good defender. You go get Cedric Coward because of the measurables that he has. You go get Javon Small because you believe in him not only as a shooter and a scorer, but you're talking about his defensive numbers, the way he played defense in college. Then you draft Jahmai Mashack, who a lot of teams did not have in their top 60 unless you had a high value on defense, because this is one of the best, if not the best, perimeter defender in the draft, but offensively he ain't in the top 200 probably. So it's like that's clearly the emphasis, because you've reconstructed the roster in a way where it's Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr., and that's flood these pieces around them with complementary pieces, trying to almost in a way not exactly copy that OKC Boston Celtics blueprint, but look at the last two teams. Look at the last two teams that won championships. Those teams had minimal defensive weaknesses. Both of them. They had offensive weaknesses. You go to OKC, they couldn't shoot really well from three-point range. You go to Boston, they probably shot too much for a team that wasn't, the most elite three-point shooting team. They didn't attack the paint as much, things like that. Both of those teams had weaknesses, but defensively, they didn't have many.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. Like we joked a lot about Zach Kleiman and saying, we got to get some dogs on those type of things, right? But if you think about it, every move this offseason that they made of attaining new players, you can't question whether these are guys that are dogs. Like literally every one of them. Jock Landale, you're talking about Ty Jerome, all these dudes, just hard-nosed dudes, man. Like dudes who get out the mud for sure. So they definitely are like, trying to do those type of guys could come in and be culture changers, man. And it's like you talk about Oklahoma City, right? It's not like the Oklahoma City team has a team full of household names.
Right.
Those guys, they've got a lot of guys on their team that just have made a name for themselves since they've been playing for their Thunder team, right? Even a guy like an Isaiah Joe, he's a gritty dude. Like he's a shooter, but he's also a guy that's just a good tough guy on that team. So I definitely like the Grizzlies' attention to keeping that type of guy. Real fast, you mentioned Brandon Clark during your conversation just then. Do you think what's your confidence level that he'll be ready to play when the season starts?
Pretty confident. Brandon Clark being back and being healthy, and it's also another year for him. He's removed from the Achilles and things like that, but also the offensive change too. I think we focused a lot on Ja, right, and then of course it was very obvious with Zach Edey. But I think Brandon Clark was, if you say who was the next player other than Ja and Zach Edey, those were the two who were clearly most affected by the offensive change at the beginning of the season. I say Brandon Clark was third for me because how many times did we see Brandon Clark in that pick and roll get to that little, that pop little floater that he had and things like that. But in that new offense, he had to self-create a lot of those floaters. A lot of times you saw him with the ball. He'll take two dribbles, spin around, and turn around and do the little, floater, which he can.
The BC floater.
Yeah, he can still do it. But when he was in pick and roll and he's getting to that floater with Ja Morant, that's when he's at his best. So I think with Isolo going back to more of that, that's something that I'm really intrigued to see as well with BC.
Right, there's another gentleman on this team, Damichael Cole. We've seen him give press conferences. We've seen him unite the city. We've seen him speak like the new Obama. We've seen him give riveting messages of inspiration to young people and to great interviews. But there's a certain young man that we have not seen touch a basketball.
We ain't seen him hoop yet.
I need to see him hoop, man. I need to see some hoop.
And I've had conversations with friends. I'm seeing posts on Twitter. I'm seeing people. I get on here every day. I've yet to see Cedric Coward pick up a basketball, like all these type of things. Is there any level of concern with you that the Grizzlies are hiding this from us, man? Cedric Coward is around here, shoulder dangling off his arm, man, hitting the Geo Savage dance. Y'all don't even know what Geo Savage is. Google it. But anyway, is there any concern that Cedric Coward is doing the Kappa shuffle, man?
He said he out here doing TikTok dances.
Right. Is there any chance that his shoulder is dangling from the socket, man, on Cedric Coward?
Man, I think Cedric will be fine when training camp get here. I don't think there'll be much holding him back unless they want to hold him back. Like, you got to look at it from this standpoint. Cedric Coward felt like he could play games, a couple months ago. Yeah. Like he in his heart and his mind. Now, of course, that's a young mind. But at the same time, this is a process where the Grizzlies wanted to take their time, and we've seen them, ramp up guys 1-on-1, 3-on-3, 5-5 over the course of time, all of that. He was already doing a lot, even though he wasn't doing a lot on the basketball floor. Trust me, from the people I talked to, it ain't like he was just sitting around eating cupcakes, lifting up like little pieces of cotton or anything like that. Like he was getting after it. Like
hopefully he's not there picking cotton, man. Hopefully that's not part of the Grizzlies routine. His head of brother picking cotton.
Look, man, I was trying to think of something that's light. It's easy to pick up, man.
Picking cotton.
Look, man. Shout out to my great grandparents, man. Shout out to my great grandparents.
Shout out to my parents. We were talking about that yesterday. Go ahead, bro.
But with Cedric Coward, I think he'll be completely fine. He's already been lifting the weights, and he was, from what I heard, like when you talk to other players about it, like he was getting after it a little bit in the weight room. So I think he'll be fine.
It seems to me, man, that it's more of a case of because of the brevity of the trade. Like you traded Desmond Bane. Not that they traded him for Cedric Coward, but he's one of the immediate look and see. He's one of the immediate look and see guys when you're evaluating their trade in the here and now, right? And I think that they're being extremely cautious about everything with him. You know what I mean? I don't know whether it's going to be to a fault or not, but I'm not really stressing out about it, man. Like I said, of course it's there. You have to think about it that we haven't seen him work out. But I ain't, there's a lot of guys I ain't seen work out since summer league. I mean, so we'll see. Yeah. I ain't seen Brandon Clark do nothing in an even longer amount of time. You know what I mean? So we'll have to see how that whole thing works out for sure. Another person, see, all we're talking about is, do you think guys gonna be ready for the season? Right? Jaren Jackson Jr. Allegedly came about the boot and did some working out. He did an interview with not an interview, but he had a meeting with Kevin Garnett earlier a few weeks ago as well. Do you think Jaren's gonna be ready when the season starts?
It's tricky because this is one of those things where it's more like it's on the Grizzlies, it feels like. But my short answer is yes. I do feel like when the season gets here, Jaren Jackson Jr. be ready. But you look at the timeline, we're 2 weeks from now, we'll probably hear something. Jaren, if everything's going well, everything seems to be going well from what I've heard. It feels like, okay, 2 weeks from now, you get some relative update. When you get that update, let's hypothetically say they say, 2-week ramp up period, and then he can get back on the floor. And even I feel like that's still a lot. But if that's the case, late September, 2 weeks, that puts you around October 10th, somewhere around there, where you still have a couple preseason games. And then after those, preseason games, you pretty much still got a week before the NBA season. I believe their last preseason game is something like October 16th, October 17th. And then a week after that, you got your first regular season game. So the point is, if Jaren Jackson Jr. remains on schedule here and he gets a ramp-up period of roughly a couple weeks, he should be ready to play 2 preseason games if they need him to, or even 1 preseason game and then ramp him up in that week leading up to the regular season and keep him on some type of minutes restriction throughout the first 3 or 4 games. I think that's an option too. But at the end of the day, no matter how you slice it, whether it's he needs to play a couple preseason games, whether it's him play 1 preseason game and then ramp up a little bit more, I still think he should be on the floor when the season begins.
All right, Damichael, appreciate your time today, man. Final question for my guy, Damichael Cole, before we get you up out of here, man. We were talking earlier about the Desmond Bane trade, right?
Yeah,
and, you know, the payoff. And, you know, you traded one of the better shooting guards in the league, and now, you know, you're going to have to see how that pans out. There's been a lot of people that are saying that a lot of fingers have been pointed, not in a bad way, but eyes are on Jalen Wells, is what I mean to say. A lot of people are kind of assuming that Jalen has to be the Desmond Bane replacement. I've always thought that narrative was pretty silly and pretty ill-sighted, you know what I mean, like short-sighted. And I kind of think that I think he's going to have an improved year regardless. But I don't think anybody expects Jalen Wells to become 20-point per game scorer, 40-something% from three. I think he's going to be part of a cast that will replace Desmond Bane. I think him plus KCP plus Ty Jerome plus Santi, you know, I think you're going to get plus Cedric Howard. I think that cast of characters, you know, is as good or better than, you know, what having Desmond Bane on this team would be. But do you think that the team, because some people I've read like reports, right, who said like, you know, the Grizzlies are really high, like they feel like like they did it with Desmond Bane. Like they got rid of Grayson Allen.
Grayson Allen,
and Desmond Bane was ready to slide in and better. And they just they got Jalen Wells. They feel like he can come in and do the same thing. Like I don't think that's true. Like I don't think that's what the team thinks at all. Now if I'm wrong, if you heard something different, or you think the team does believe that, let me know. But what are your thoughts on, or what have you heard about how they feel like the type of leap Jalen Wells may make next season?
Yeah, and I think some of that thinking probably comes from the fact that it's been said, you know, from the Grizzlies brass that like Jalen Wells, his arc, the way he improved over the course of the season, that was kind of in consideration with the idea of trading Desmond Bane. Like you felt, I guess, a little more at ease with trading Desmond Bane, knowing, you know, the arc that in the progress that a player like Jalen Wells made. But at the same time, no, this is not a Desmond Bane, Grayson Allen type situation or anything like that. This is more about roster structure. It's not about the players in particular. It's about roster structure. And again, I'm going to keep going back to Boston and OKC, because if you look at those teams around those great scorers, you got pretty much all league defenders. Both teams. Well, the previous Boston, not this, not this Boston. Boston ain't like that no more. But when they won a championship, OKC and Boston, they had these long defensive teams. And that's kind of what Memphis is trying to get to. You're trying to throw a 6'7" Jalen Wells out there with a Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and his defensive, ability, with a guy like a Cedric Howard who has this massive wingspan and things like that. So it's kind of just reshaping the roster with what's working in the NBA. And it's good and it's, great, as some people say Desmond Bane was. Desmond Bane had a short wingspan, which kind of capped out what he was going to be as a defender. And you already just got to say, you got to come to reality and say, look, Ja can always be a willing and trying defender. But at the end of the day, Ja's always probably going to be, a $180. And you're going to have teams that got LeBron James, who we saw in that playoff series with the Lakers, trying to switch and ISO against Ja Morant. There's only so much Ja can do. LeBron's 250. Like, he's coming downhill, put his shoulder in front of him. Like, it's only so much he can do in that situation. But if you surround him, and we've seen that work over the course of history, people always ask, can small guards win championships, right? Steph Curry won. What does Steph Curry have around him? A bunch
big
of
wings.
6'7" Klay Thompson. Yeah, all these other
Iguodala. He had Harrison Barnes,
Kevin Durant, all of it. And then even if you go to some guys who were smaller point guards, so to speak, and even made it to the championship, like I like to use AI. What AI have around him? Straight dog defenders, big wings. So
and that's it.
Like it works. It works. So that it feels like the Grizzlies are trying to get more to that idea of kind of surrounding Ja with all these elite defenders, and it just wasn't going to happen with Dez at the end of the day.
It's a regular season for me. Like, and I hope none of this comes off the shade of Desmond Bane, because I love Desmond Bane.
For sure. Des hoops. Yeah.
Right. It's a regular season winning formula, though, man. You look at a team like Cleveland. They got the two small guards. Neither one of them are good defenders, right? You're going to win 60 games in the season when that's your backcourt, when you got two all-stars in your backcourt.
For sure.
When it comes down to the playoffs, man, a scrappy team full of nobodies like the Pacers, get your ass up out of here. Injured and not injured, they were busting your ass. You know what I mean? The Knicks, they're getting you up out of here. Like, this is today's NBA, man. You got to have teams with versatile defenders. So like I said, I'm waiting to see about it. A lot of fans are kind of out thinking that, you let go of Desmond Bane and you didn't go get a guy that's as good as Desmond Bane. But I think that the total cast of the characters that we'll see on this team will be beneficial for the team for sure. With Damichael, we appreciate you, man. We're going to let you go, man. Hey, we're going to hit you up, man. Hey, I appreciate you, man. Last time you was in somebody's closet, you was in the bathroom. Now you're in front of FedEx Forum, man. Look at the
See, now I got to be careful with who watch this, because now you're going to have people asking questions.
No, man, you was in your closet. You was at the house, man.
Yeah, we're going to say that. I was in my closet. Let's go.
I ain't going to do you like that, man. I apologize for came out like I was hating on you, man. But no, you was in the closet at the house, I assume. But you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it looked like you had some flip-flops and socks on, baby. For this up, you know what I'm saying?
Man, but I'm glad we got it right, man. Hey,
my guy, man,
right for sure.
Yes, sir. I get up with you, man. It's my guy, Damichael Cole, man. Beat writer, the best in the city from Commercial Appeal. Kenny Stubblefield, speaking of best in the city, man, when you got some pest control issues, man, when you got some stuff going on, man, hit up the good people at Grade A Pest, man. 20 years in the business, offering pest and rodent control, a homegrown business by my guy Reggie Freeman Alexander, man. The big dog, my guy, man. Every time I need anything, he got me. Ain't like I got nasty house. Let me rephrase it, man. Y'all thinking I'm nasty here. But when I did need the brother, he was there, man. And he got me set up. He got me the traps. He got me the bait, all that type of stuff, man. No mouse issues at all over here in the same manner, man. Thanks to the good people at Grade A Best. Give them a call, man, 901-628-4867. Shoot them an email, gradeapservices@gmail.com. Kenny, like I said, man, they're the best in the business. They've been that way for about 20 years, man. We're about to take a break, Kenny. When we come back, it's going to be more to Anthony Sain Show. We'll see y'all in a minute.
In the heart of the Highland Strip for 27 years, Trilogy Tattoo has helped tell stories for Memphians for generations. Located at 530 South Highland, Richie and his team are waiting to help you tell yours.
From tattoos to piercings, your body art should be as unique as you are. Voted a Memphis Flyer top 3 tattoo shop in the city of Memphis since day one. Your story will be safe here at Trilogy Tattoo.
Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 11 to 11, and 3 to 11 on Sundays. They have convenient times waiting on you. Let Trilogy Tattoo help you tell your story.
Jalen Carter was ejected on the opening kickoff because he spat on Dak Prescott.
Dak did start the foray, with Jalen Carter. He was talking spit in his direction, talking noise, but like to walk up and spit on a grown man, like
right here.
Yeah, like spit on him right in front of the refs, like all that, like, and that's how it always works. Like the person who instigates it rarely gets caught. It's always retaliation. My coaches all throughout my football career told me that. Like you never want to be the guy that retaliates because you will always get caught. Because the first guy's going to draw the ref's attention, then you're going to get the flag, and that's exactly what happened.
You can say Dak instigated it, but like he spat in his direction. He didn't spit like Jalen Carter spat on him,
on his chest, in front of the referee.
Yeah, one of those is going to get a penalty. The other one's not. Like I just plain and simple.
Tune in to The Daily Grind with your host, Lute Hatmaker, every Monday through Friday at 7:30 a.m. live on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
And again, if you watched the $2 Sports Show last year, you understand my 12th seed, the last one on there, was always the team I was most impressed with. And I was impressed with my Bulldogs. And so last year I had Navy in this spot. I had Vanderbilt in this spot when they upset Alabama. So I was impressed with what Mississippi State looked like in the second half. We'll know more this weekend after we're playing Arizona State. But I'm slipping number 10. My Bulldogs in at Mississippi State at number 10 on my power rankings in the first edition of the Greased poll that has ever been on the $2 Sports Show.
Yeah. I had Ole Miss in mind. And I was like, Rusty is going to call me the absolute homer and not listen to a single point that is valid that I make, because all he's going to see is, oh, Ole Miss, Drew put Ole Miss in there. And you go and put Mississippi State in there after a win against the worst team in Conference USA.
I didn't argue with you in your poll. You can do your poll how you want. I'm putting my Bulldogs at number 10.
You wouldn't have if I had Ole Miss there.
No, again, it's your poll. I'll let you do your own thing.
Tune in to the $2 Sports Show with Rusty Witten and Drew Gann every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday live at 11 a.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Anthony Sain Show, man. Shout out to my guy, Damichael Cole, once again, man. My guy, man. Like I'm just so proud of the man for upgrading his digs, man. Last time the man was in a horrible state of affairs with my guy, Damichael Cole, man. But he came back today live in front of FedEx Forum, man. I wonder how he sets up equipment in front of FedEx Forum like that. Every time he does,
without the wind and everything.
Without wind, nobody walking in the background.
Nobody walking in the background.
Yeah, it's shit dope. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, he's safe. Like he is the ultimate definition. He's safe.
Nobody did nothing to him. Hey, shout out to him, man. I wish we had asked him, was he okay, man? We should.
Yeah, you good?
To ask him if he was okay, man. I don't know if y'all noticed, man, but today on Rockin', man, hooded weather is almost here, man. But inside the house, I can throw it on. Shout out to the good people at Trilogy Tattoos, man, with the 901 Trilogy hoodie. Shout out to in the era we're in now, man, where everybody's logo is inside of a circle. The 901 shirts are just, it's a layup, man. So shout out to the good people at Trilogy Tattoos, man. Best in the business, man. 27 years in the business. Right. Every tattoo on your body has a story behind it, man. You ain't out here just getting tattoos on some Popeye the Sailor Man type shit, man. You got a story behind your tattoo, man. So let the good people at Trilogy Tattoos, trust them to your telling your story the best way. Kenny, you shot one of the first episodes of the Tell Your Story series they're doing over there at Trilogy Tattoos.
I did.
The best in the business, man. Award-winning tattoo artists, award-winning piercers as well. The good people at Trilogy Tattoos Memphis. Go on the website, man. Book an appointment. Get with them. It used to be 24 hours. They ain't 24 hours no more, man. Your ass with me getting no tattoo that goddamn late or early, whatever you trying to do.
Who wants to be there that late, right?
Yeah, get your ass in there, man, a good time and get a tattoo with the good people at Trilogy Tattoos. Kenny, so it's time for the three-pointer, man. We talk about three things going on in the world of sports, man. Let's get into it, man. Hey, yesterday, man, we were talking about Carmelo Anthony in the Hall of Fame and all that. Bro, I did not know that Dwight Howard got inducted at all this weekend. Like, all I saw was Carmelo and LeBron. I did not see Dwight Howard at all. I didn't. I literally did not see it until literally this morning. I said, damn, Dwight got in that junk. So I got a man. Hey, I got to tilt my hat to the man, bro. Get the man his flowers, bro. You got to get a man his flowers. A lot of people hate on Dwight Howard. The man that man had a crazy run in the league, man. You talking about 8-time All-Star. The man averaged, every year his rebounding numbers were crazy. He didn't have a single season outside of when his game just started depleting, when he went to Washington and all this type of shit, where he only averaged nine rebounds a game. But the man was averaging like 11, 12 rebounds a game, period, his entire career, right? But he also had a crazy run between 2006, which was his first year making an All-Star game,
right,
in 2013, which was last year he made the All-Star game, where his averages on points per game were 17, 20, 20, 18, 23, 20, 17, 18. It's a crazy ass run, man. That man was scoring. That man was averaging a sick double-double, bro. He was almost averaging like 20 and 12 throughout his career doing that run. So you're talking about 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, 8-time All-Star, like I said, NBA champion. Shout out to Dwight Howard, man, for real. Like, a lot of people, he's a goofy dude, and he's kind of a meme now at this point of his career. But you're talking about a guy who endured some of the earliest hating from Shaquille O'Neal, like prime, you know what I mean? Prime Shaquille O'Neal hating, man. And shout out to Dwight Howard, man, Hall of Famer, bro. He deserves it. And I was talking to my guy Cam Rose about this a few years ago, and we were talking about the legacy of Dwight Howard, right? He was like, bro, there was a time in the Eastern Conference when LeBron was there where Dwight Howard was the second best player in the East. Like, he was that guy for a long time. And you don't even think about it like that because LeBron was so dominant over the East. But there was a run where Dwight Howard was the second best player in the Eastern Conference, bro. Like, for a long time. So
and he's the kind of player that he's gone to multiple franchises with the idea of this is going to be the next piece to get us to a championship, right? Like Orlando was there, Houston was there. I mean, I really do feel like, and maybe this is just because it's recency bias, but I do wonder, are we diluting down the Hall of Fame at this point? Like, that's a real question I have. Like, I think Carmelo's a Hall of Famer. I have questions about Dwight Howard. I don't know if necessarily. Like, I just and again, like, I have to check myself because I do wonder if maybe my feelings about it come from
because you saw his whole career.
Because I saw his whole career.
Yeah, you saw him coming to the league. Yeah,
and I saw the decline. Right, like I saw the decline, the steep decline, very quickly. And And I do wonder if maybe Shaq's hating has caused me to look at Dwight Howard a little bit differently, right? I don't know if that's
Exhibit A. That's Exhibit A. Like, for real. And we talked about how these dudes hate on the current players so much, how it affects these guys' legacy. Yeah, it does. Yeah.
I just don't know. Like, I'm like, I definitely understand LeBron. I definitely understand Carmelo. I'm kind of like about Dwight Howard in the Hall of Fame, but he's a fantastic player.
I can't get with you on that. I think he's clearly a Hall of Famer. And like, even when the top 75 stuff came out, people were talking about he shouldn't be in. Like, bro, y'all are crazy. Like, that dude, man, like I said, man, there was a run where he was one of the top 4 or 5 players in the NBA, bro, for a long time. Yeah. Like that's who he was. And he had limitations as far as skill offensively, but he was finding a way to score 20 points a game. Like, you can't, and that was in an era where that wasn't in today's era, but that was about 15 years ago when he was doing those type of things, 10, 15 years ago. So I can't.
Midman says the same for JaVale McGee. All them Shackton episodes made it seem like he wasn't a good player. I'm not saying Dwight Howard's not a good player. Like, I think Dwight Howard's fantastic. I think Dwight Howard's amazing. But the Hall of Fame, and man, I'm about to sound like get off my lawn. The Hall of Fame means something. Like, the Hall of Fame
still does mean something. You crazy?
To me, it used to mean something. And it's like, I just don't know if necessarily, like, Dwight Howard is the guy that I would say needs to be in that pantheon of, like, top tier NBA players of all time.
I'm going to tell you what that is. I'm going to tell you what you're going through. The Hall of Fame is greatest players of all time, but it's also the greatest players from a given era.
That makes sense.
So every few years when it comes around, you have to recognize who the best players were in the era that just passed. Like, when we were little kids, it was Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird going in, who also some of the greatest players ever picked up in basketball. But quite simply, they were the best players from that past era. You can't talk about the era that just passed and not talk about Dwight Howard. He was, if not the best, one of the best bigs, period, doing that. You're talking about Pau Gasol, you're talking about Dwight Howard. Who else are you talking about as far as bigs from that era, like that 2008 to 2015 era? Like, those were the dudes, you know what I mean? So, like, I totally get that, man. I understand what you're saying. Like, he's not one of the greatest players of all time, but he was one of the greatest players of that era, bro. Like, somebody's got to go in the Hall of Fame.
And that makes sense.
It's like when Tracy McGrady made the Hall of Fame. It was like, bro, Tracy McGrady didn't even win a playoff series. You know what I mean? It was that type of conversation. And he was one of the greatest players from that era, for sure.
The way you just put that argument has actually shifted my brain a little bit, too. It's not just necessarily about the pantheon of great, all-time great. It's about the eras, right? Like, the era of, like, even in baseball, they have the steroid era, and some of these guys in the steroid era aren't going into the Hall of Fame because of the writers and the bullshit behind that. They're the great. Barry Bonds is the greatest player in his era. He absolutely is a Hall of Fame.
That is one thing too. I do gotta kind of side with you on. The Basketball Hall of Fame is not an NBA Hall of Fame, and because of that, it's pretty much the most liberal one. Like, as far as pushing and pulling, like, as far as like, this might be one of the most. They don't bullshit about getting guys in, or getting people in. Right. Baseball does that whole. Oh, is he as good?
Gatekeeping.
Where is he next to Babe Ruth? And all so, like, they do all this to making guys wait 20, 30 years to vote him in, all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Football can get kind of weird too, but basketball is, because, man, they just put the whole Redeem team in that joint.
Right.
With LeBron and them who's still in the league. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which is so crazy, bro. Like, there are guys on that Redeem team that absolutely are been out of the NBA for a long time. And it makes sense that it's time to put that team into the Hall of Fame.
Player, right?
LeBron's still playing. But yeah, shout out to Dwight Howard, man.
Let me ask you this: who has a better Hall of Fame career, in your opinion? If you had to make a choice between Dwight Howard, who is now a Hall of Famer, and Draymond Green.
I was about to say, you sure never gonna be mad when Draymond get in, because Draymond is a Hall of Famer, bro. Draymond will be a Hall of Famer. He won't be first ballot. He ain't gonna be first ballot, but he gonna get in. Draymond Green is gonna get in. Too many defensive players of the year, bro. Too many championships. Yeah, bro, he's getting in, bro. It's gonna be the same type of conversation, but way worse.
I think Dwight Howard's legacy for the Hall of Fame is much greater than Draymond Green's. Much greater.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, facts. But the amount of times that Draymond won defensive player of the year during that era, he's gonna get in. All right, who would piss you off more to get into the Hall of Fame, Draymond or Rudy Gobert?
Oh, Rudy Gobert, no doubt.
Let me think of some odd guys that are probably going to get in.
Oh, dude, if Rudy Gobert gets in the Hall of Fame, I am never going to consider the Hall of Fame ever again.
Let me think. Would Klay Thompson bother you? Would Anthony Davis bother you to get in?
No, hell no, not Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is a Hall of Famer. Absolutely.
So why is Klay Thompson? Why is 4-time champion?
I didn't say no about Klay Thompson because you're talking about, and maybe it's because of the size, the position that Anthony Davis played. He revolutionized that position. Right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And so that, like, he's a revolutionary type of player.
Yeah.
Klay Thompson is a great shooter and a great defender who just so happened to play with the greatest shooter of all time. Like, what sets him apart outside of the fact that he played for a dynasty, right? He's not a revolutionary type player. He's a great three-point shooter and a great defender. But is he a guy that changed the game like Anthony Davis did?
Yeah. My guy, John, going back a little bit, he said that Tim Duncan, Dirk, Stoudemire, KG, Kevin Love. That's a little bit
isn't that the generation?
That's the era.
We got to define eras, I guess, here. Because I would say, I would say Duncan,
he's right.
Dirk.
He's right.
Okay.
Yeah, he's right. That's kind of the end of Dirk. When did the Grizzlies when did Dallas win the championship?
2011.
Not the Grizzlies. Who did I say?
You said Dallas.
When did Dallas win the championship? 2011.
Yeah.
When did? I don't know. My time is off. When did Kobe and them beat Orlando? It was like 2009. That's the same era, though. That's the same era,
right?
How many of these dudes are Hall of Famers? Duncan is. Dirk already is. Amari won't be. KG already is. Kevin Love. Is Kevin Love a Hall of Famer?
Is Kevin Love a Hall of Famer?
Damn, individual numbers was nasty. Individual accomplishments was nasty. Never was like all NBA good. Was he? I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting to see if Kevin Love gets in. Powell's already in. I remember conversations about Mark versus Powell, and people were like, oh, Mark's better. I say, bro, Powell's going to be a Hall of Famer. No, he ain't. No, he ain't. I was like, all right, Powell's a Hall of Famer. Will Mark Gasol be a Hall of Famer? No. There's no resume for him to be a Hall of Famer. End of the year, role player on the championship. End of his career, role player on the championship team.
What was Dwight Howard in L.A.?
But I'm not giving. If you take that championship off, Dwight Howard is still a Hall of Famer. You take that. I'm not saying it because he was a champion. You take that championship off, he's still a Hall of Famer in my eyes. Is Marc Gasol ever going to be a Hall of Famer? No. Even if you put international play in, did he ever win an Olympic gold medal with Spain?
No.
Who will be the first Grizzlies Hall of Famer? Ja, right?
See, you're crowning Ja already when the man's played 50 games in 3 years. Like, I got to see more out of Ja before I start crowning Ja.
Assuming that, like, normal basketball stuff happens with Ja Morant, which is like playing games, will Ja Morant be the first Hall of Famer? If not, is it going to be Jaren?
Jaren. Ja or Jaren, one of the two. If everything plays out the way that we think that it should.
Cedric Howard.
That's it.
Hey, I saw a video, man. Like my YouTube algorithm was just algorithming, man, and it said that
Marc Gasol, I'm telling you, man, DPOY championships.
He got one DPOY, bro. A championship at the end of his career as a role player. He wasn't like first, second, or third best player on that team, or fourth best player on that team. One defensive player of the year. Mark is never going to make a Hall of Fame. Zito, bro, let me think for a minute, bro. I might be talking out of turn. Hell no, because if we talk about this Kevin Love going to make it, why the hell is Mark going to make it? I don't know, bro. Hey, you tell me. Y'all tell me in the comments, man. Is Marc Gasol Hall of Famer or not? But anyway, man, Dwight Howard spent most of his career playing for Orlando Magic. That's the team we mostly know Dwight Howard for.
Yep.
I think they're going to be good, Kenny Summerfield. But I wonder. Hey, this number seems insanely high to me, bro. Yeah. If you're on FanDuel, you'll notice that the win total for the Orlando Magic is 51.5 wins.
So crazy, bro.
That's a lot of wins, bro.
A lot of wins in the NBA. It's a lot of wins.
I know the East is going to be down. Boston going to be bullshitting and all that type of stuff. There's a lot of wins for a team who ain't never won nowhere close to that amount of wins. Like this iteration of the team. I don't know. That seems like easy money to me.
So you go under. So you go under on that. You go under 51 and a half.
51 and a half. Meaning they're gonna win 52 games. They're gonna be 52 and 30. I don't know, bro. They're gonna be good now. Shit, the four might be that good though. In the East, bro, they could run off
in
like
the East. That's the problem.
They could run off like that.
They're probably going to be a top 3, top 4 team in the East.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I literally had to go look at the East when we had this conversation a few weeks ago. Yeah, they're gonna be good. That's a tricky number though, man. That's a big ass risk that you gonna stamp that. I bet that bet don't get a lot of traffic at all on FanDuel. I bet the under does, but Nova sound kind of crazy. Well, Kenny, number 2, man. Number 2, CBS.com dropped its top standard uniform rankings. I thought this was pretty cool, man. Not talking about, the city uniforms and all that.
Not all the
throwbacks and all that. Just a basic, the association, the alternate and the whatever legacy or whatever they call this shit. The dark, the home aways and the alternate joint, right? I figured the Grizzlies uniform was pretty mid, so I knew it'd be pretty mid on this list. I figured it'd be in the lower 10 out of 30, and it was. The Grizzlies joint came in at 22, if I'm not mistaken, Kenny Stubblefield. Who do you think has the worst jerseys in the NBA, according to the reporters at CBS, the writers?
I mean,
at CBS?
clearly it's got to be the Oklahoma City Thunder. They look like a damn truck.
That's what I thought too, bro. That shit is trash. But it didn't. That said the Minnesota joints are last. I get that too. That joint is super ugly. The Pelicans joint.
The away ones. The away. I don't mind the Minnesota uniform.
No. What I said, I agree with it.
You said you agree with them.
I agree that it's trash, but I don't think it's the worst one. I think that jersey, that dark blue jersey is ugly to me. But I don't think it's the worst one in the league. Like that's, I don't agree with it. And I think I like I like that green jersey they got too. The lime green joint. Ain't that thing regular alternate? I think that's a regular alternate. So. I like that joint. Washington's down there at 28.
I think the Raptors is ugly as hell.
Yeah, the current Toronto is ass. They need to bring back the purple. That purple shit. Sacramento, get that shit out of here. Oklahoma City is 25. That shit is 30. I don't care what they saying. Like, y'all NBA champions, man. Y'all supposed to be cleaning that. The Pacers, yeah, it's pretty trash. Dallas joints. I don't think Dallas has an ugly jersey.
It's not bad. I don't mind that at all.
I think their joint is top 15 to me. They got us at 22. I like
the Clippers.
Blues.
I like the Clippers jersey. Why do they not like the Clippers?
I like our navy blue and I like our baby blue. I think that baby blue jersey is like a tester. I think that because if you look at that jersey, there's ways you can kind of build around that jersey and do a total rebrand. Like because that jersey is different than the other two. It's different than the navy. It's different than the white. Yeah. And it has that Vancouver elements without the Vancouver copyrighted stuff. So I think I wouldn't be surprised if you see them kind of build off of that jersey whenever they do a rebrand and make the navy and the white look like that baby blue joint. I think they kind of did that to test crowdsourcing on that joint. The Clippers joint, I like the Clippers jersey, bro. I can't get with them on that.
Hey, I want everybody in the comment section. Tell me what you think your what they would pick as the top 5 jerseys are. I'm stunned by some of these. I'm stunned.
No cities. No cities.
No cities. Standard uniforms.
Yeah, no throwbacks. Just their home away. Yep. They got Cleveland at 19, Denver at 18, whatever. Brooklyn. I think Brooklyn's jerseys are nasty. That mug is top 5 to me. Just that plain black and white, nasty. I love it. Then they got the Spurs way up there, but Brooklyn is like mid. But I'm like, it's the same type of shit. Like, what makes the Spurs so much better than Brooklyn? Detroit Pistons, I think that shit is ass. Atlanta, whatever. Milwaukee, I like Milwaukee's jerseys. I like the Milwaukee jerseys for a long time. They got them at 14. The Lakers is classic. It's just going to sell. Phoenix, I think Phoenix jerseys are always clean. Miami Heat, whatever. They got them at number 11. Their alternates are cold, but their special jerseys are cold, but their regular jerseys, whatever. Philly, whatever. They've had some cold jerseys over time. The ones they got now are pretty basic, but they're top 10. Knicks at 9. Yep. I'll take it. Classic. Portland Trailblazers always had a pretty ugly jersey to me.
I'm not a big fan of the Portland jersey.
Yeah, it's number 8. Utah's number 7. That's a lie.
They got Utah at 7. That thing is nasty.
That's his ass. Talking about the new ones. Oh, they did the rebrand though. They rebrand is clean.
The one with the purple?
They rebrand is clean. Now, have you seen that rebrand?
Nuh-uh.
That shit clean, bro.
Okay.
Well, Orlando Magic rebrand in number 6. Yes.
No. I'm talking about Utah.
I know.
Oh.
But they got Orlando 6. But go look up them new Utah jerseys. Them whole clean, bro. If I'm not mistaken. I want to say I've seen their jerseys and I like them shits for real though. Orlando's at 6.
I like them.
The Warriors, of course, at 5. Classic blue and gold joint.
The Hornets?
Charlotte clean. Charlotte shit been clean, bro.
I don't like that color. I don't like that color, bro. I don't like the teal.
For real?
I'm not a teal
So
fan.
you ain't had a teal Charlotte Hornets starter jacket back in the day?
Never. Not a teal fan.
You tripping, bro. If you see. Spurs at 3. Like, how you got the Spurs at 3, but you ain't got Brooklyn? This is the exact same shit.
It's the exact same thing.
Yeah. And that Brooklyn shit, it's gonna get harder. It's gonna get hits harder. Boston at 2.
Ooh,
classic joint. It seems like Boston look dumb when they try to do like the cities and the
go green. Just
don't even get in there, bro. Leave that to these kids. Chicago Bulls joint number 1. I do not agree, bro.
I don't agree with that at all.
Nope.
At all.
Like, nothing about me makes me think, nah, I don't like the Bulls stuff at all, bro. Especially that pinstripe shit. Nah, get that out of here, man. Get that out of here. But I did want to talk about this. The Boston Celtics, since we're talking about jerseys, we all agreed that Boston green is cold, especially when, you remember when they had to wear all black shoes? When Boston was like the only team in the league that wear black, they wear the black shoes. That shit was clean. If you look at FanDuel, man, I think this is a fucking lie. I just don't know where FanDuel got this from. But it says that the Boston Celtics win total is at 40.5. Bro, I am body slamming that.
The under, right? Way under. They're gonna be trash.
You folks finna tank like a mother. Hey, you about to see a legendary team, legendary franchise look egregious with the level of tanking they about to do.
100%.
And they gonna mess around and win the lottery, bro. Like, if you ever thought the lottery was rigged, get ready for what Boston's about to do. Get ready for what you about to see with Boston, bro.
The 40.5 is a wild number to me.
That number seems crazy. It seems like free money.
Where would you go on the over-under with them on the regular season wins?
I'm going under. I would go 35. I go
35,
under.
32, something like that. Yeah.
40.5 means that sounds crazy. That's 41 games.
That's 41 games. That's 500, bro.
They said we gonna be 42. We regular. We ain't trying to lose.
We ain't trying to tank. And
that's crazy, bro. That seems like it seems like give me my money, bro. Yes. For real. That shit sounds crazy. All right, man. Number 3, I want your take on this. We're not gonna play the video. I don't think you got this video down there, do you? No.
I don't know.
Ryan Clark was talking to some guy on ESPN, and he dropped the trump card, right? He dropped the big joker out there of that sounds like something that a guy would say that's not an athlete. And as we wrap up this segment, I kind of want to have a quick conversation about that as far as when is that type of energy okay? Like, I'll say this, man. This is a sports podcast. I have takes on stuff. My show is mainly entertaining than it is me coming here for my in-depth analysis or insight. I don't pretend to be these guys. I can tell you who to go watch if you want to watch that type of stuff, who to listen to if you want to listen to that. But I try to, I be knowing what I'm talking about, but I'm not out there trying to sound smart, so to speak, right? Like we have fun. I want this to be a fun community. But with that being said, I never played in the NBA. I never played college basketball. And I don't particularly think I have to for the type of show that this is. But I do think that there are certain takes that players who played the game, especially at the highest level, do have an advantage of. Like, I do think that that's a real thing. But I also believe that I know that I'm not a gourmet chef, but I know good food. I know what I like and what I don't like. So I can pretty much say, I ain't feeling this. So I'm going to tell you why I don't like it. And it might not be the technical reason why it ain't good, but I can tell you I ain't feeling it, period. And you tell me why I don't like it. You know what I mean? So I can do that type of stuff. But I do think there are certain situations where being a player does give you an advantage when it comes out to a conversation. But I've also seen stupid GMs. I've also seen stupid former players who say some ridiculous things, you know what I mean, who lack tact, all those type of things when it comes out to these type of conversations. But I just wanted I think it depends on the situation, but it depends on who the former player is. Depends on who the guy who's doing the analysis is, right? Like, am I going to argue with JJ Redick when it comes down to analysis when he was doing certain things? Do I argue? No, but what I argue with Kendrick Perkins, yeah. You know what I mean? I've heard certain guys say crazy stuff, and I've heard, certain players say crazy stuff. I heard regular guys say crazy stuff. It just kind of depends, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I love Ryan Clark. I love the way I love his way he speaks. His oration skills are elite. Like, it's my dog. But
I think, I'm going.
Go ahead. No,
I think for me, when you have, especially when you have, if we're talking about Ryan Clark, who's on ESPN, that network, they have a lot of former players, but then they have a lot of analysts, they have a lot of commentators, they have a lot of columnists, they have a lot of those kinds of guys that have covered the sports that they're talking about for years and years and years. And both of these people have two different trump cards. One of them is, I'm a former player, you can't talk about this unless you're a former player. The other side is, well, I talk to people that are in the locker room. I talk to people behind the scenes who aren't willing to put things on paper, but they'll talk to me and I'm sharing with you what they're telling me. Both of those are trump cards. How do you argue against that, right? Now, what I do with former players, what I'll do is, if it's about locker room stuff, if it's about how the team is reacting and responding, if it's about the play on the court, if it's about the play on the field, whatever it is, that's when I lean heavily on the former player, right? Like, it's when – what I don't like about guys like Kendrick Perkins is guys who are – predominantly forever have been mid at their game, then come on and when they start talking about the game, they're talking about themselves as if they were upper echelon type of skill, type of player. I get annoyed by that because I'm like, Kendrick, you were terrible your entire career. You were not a good player, like not good at all. And so it is weird, man. Like I don't know.
But even a guy who's terrible as a pro still would have more insight than Joe Blow, who watches games every night. You know what I mean? I think it's a lot more nuance to those conversations that people are willing to talk about, because it depends on who is talking, and not just who is talking, what particular thing they're talking about. In the instance that Ryan Clark was talking about, I think that the fact that he's a former player did give him the edge in it, because of what they were talking about. Who had the better game based on who won, who lost, and all. And it's like there's some things that, like individual stats, like you can't line those two things up. Right. And I like to hear a former player say that. We've had G League guys on the show, you know what I mean? And the insight they give is crazy. Brevin Knight, his insight, Brevin was ever an all-star or great player in the league. He was a great role player his entire career. There are certain things, that's the type of guy I was looking for. Like you may say, like if you might say if I get Brevin Knight's opinion lined up with Gilbert Arenas' opinion, you would think that Gilbert Arenas has better insight, but he don't. Yeah, Brevin Knight is much better at articulating these type of things and giving views that make sense than a Gilbert Arenas would. Gilbert Arenas sounds like me out here doing it. It's just, he sounds like right? Yeah,
shock value. He goes for shock value. Yeah. Instead of just that, it is the type of player like JJ Redick. He was never as good as Gilbert Arenas playing basketball. Yeah. But tell me you wouldn't necessarily, like, if he breaking down film, breaking down games, breaking down the intricacies of what's going on the court. I'm definitely trusting JJ Redick. He sees things differently than most guys out there, right?
You know, somebody who I would love to see, he'll probably be 70 before he does it. And hopefully he'll have an NCAA championship under his belt. I would love to see Penny Hardaway get into the commentary podcasting bag, bro, because I'm sure you're talking about a basketball genius, bro. You know what I mean? So, and it's kind of weird because even if you look at coaching, like guys who some of the best coaches were guys who weren't star NBA players. I think it's just a lot more nuance to those type of things than people probably want to admit. Well, Kenny,
the crazy. Last little bit I'll say about it. Yeah, former players, we have to remember that a lot of times. And you have to read through this. Former players have beef with people. They have their own. Like, you would think that Shaquille O'Neal, the most dominant player to ever play
would
basketball,
cake for every big man in the league. Period. No matter how they play.
Right.
He would cake for all of
them. That his opinion would matter on big men. Right.
Yep.
But if you listen to Shaquille O'Neal, you would think Dwight Howard was a bum. In every way, a bum. And so it's like there is a level of beef, a level of jealousy in a lot of ways. There's a level of coming from some of these former players too. So it is tough, man. Like, you've got to be able to, I guess, listen and keep the meat and dispose of the bones, right?
Big facts, yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, man, it's a conversation, man. Great conversation, my brother. Let's take a break, man. We come back, we'll wrap this thing up inside the same brain. We'll see y'all in a minute.
In the heart of the Highland Strip for 27 years, Trilogy Tattoo has helped tell stories for Memphians for generations. Located at 530 South Highland, Richie and his team are waiting to help you tell yours.
From tattoos to piercings, your body art should be as unique as you are. Voted a Memphis Flyer top 3 tattoo shop in the city of Memphis since day one. Your story will be safe here at Trilogy Tattoo.
Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 11 to 11, and 3 to 11 on Sundays. They have convenient times waiting on you. Let Trilogy Tattoo help you tell your story.
The Grizzlies signed Olivier Maxence Prosper, I believe is how you pronounce it, to their final two-way spot. OMax with first-round pick last year, 2 years ago. If I'm not mistaken, he was waived and stretched by the Mavericks to make room for their PJ Washington extension. Biggest question I had around this is I'm not sure where it leaves Jamai Mashack.
On the hustle.
On the hustle, you think? Yeah.
What this is adding some length and some defensive help until Jaren comes back fully. I truly think he got PJ Hall on a 1-year contract, and it's not necessarily guaranteed because it's just a two-way. Mm-hmm. And so I think what you'll probably see happen is we've signed OMax, we've got Javon Small. Both those are locked up on 2-year two-ways. I think what will likely happen is once we're healthy in the front court again, I think that PJ Hall will probably go the way of the Colin Castletons and the Zion Pulliams of the world, and then we will bring up Jahmai Mashack at that point.
Tune in to The Daily Grind with your host, Lute Hatmaker, every Monday through Friday at 7:30 a.m. live on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
For me, on this whole list, the wild card is Stephon Diggs. And that's why I put him on here. He's 750.5. Yes, Drake May is his quarterback, but who else is he going to throw the ball to? You talk about a guy whose eggs have been scrambled a bit. Stephon Diggs has been hurt and had some issues on and off the field here for the last couple of years. But if he can get it together and he can figure it out, like he's the guy that you can get late in fantasy drafts. I hope some of y'all did. And he's a guy that can get production.
Yeah, Stephon Diggs is a Joe Rogan podcast away from being Antonio Brown.
100%.
I mean, that dude's wild right now. Handing out pink powder on boats to, he's been on another level. But the talent is there. I'm in on the upside of Stephon Diggs, that's for sure.
In the 12th round, that's insane value for a guy who has been – at one point, he had 4 or 5 consecutive 1,000 yards receiving seasons himself and can be absolutely electric if he can just keep his mind straight. Because right now, he is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, as you said, Drew.
Tune into the Two Buck Sports Show with Rusty Witten and Drew Gann, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
All right, y'all, welcome back to the Next to the Sain Show. Kenny, sometimes we're going to get into inside the Sain brain. Before I do, sometimes like weird stuff will remind you of things, right? Remind you to talk about something. Shout out to my guy, Robert Littell, man, of Black Sports Online, who's a master of dropping the cold headlines, man.
What do you say?
I'm going to read you the headline of this story, man. Ex-Carolina Panthers linebacker Thomas Davis's estranged wife, Kelly Davis, was arrested after she walked into a chiropractor's office and allegedly pimp slapped the woman she says he was sleeping with. Kelly explains why this is because she's jealous. And that made me think, man, I went to the chiropractor yesterday and I've got this thing going on, man. I might end up making this same brain. I don't know. No. Hey, I'm gonna hurry up. I got this thing going on in my chest, man, where like I get these weird feelings in my chest. And you know, anytime you feel something in your chest, you're thinking it's your heart. And I got anxiety too. So I went to the chiropractor a few months ago and I asked the chiropractor, I said, if there's something going on with my back, could it affect my chest too? She said, yeah, you can, it's all combined. And she was like, she said, what can happen sometimes is you can pull muscles across your rib cage and it can give a feeling like you're having some heart stuff going on. Oof. I said, for real? She said, yeah. So she lays me down and she does this little thing to me, whatever. It felt kind of weird. But the pain went away. Like the little feelings I was feeling towards my heart stopped. So they started coming back. And I usually go to the chiropractor once a month, right? So the little feelings started coming back. And I told her, I said, hey, Doc, I got that feeling again. Can you do whatever you did last time? She said, yeah, I got you, but I'm going to let my assistant do it this time because I got something else I got to get to before we close. I said, okay, cool. This young lady comes over, and I think she gave me the half treatment last time. But this time right here, I got the full treatment, bro. My ribs feel like the meat is falling off the bone. Like, give me some Sweet Baby Ray's, bro. Go get me some Cozy Corner hot barbecue sauce. These ribs are done.
What does she do? What does she do to you? What is the thing?
Bro, she lays me down. She's like, Mr. Sain, take your shirt off. So I had my wife beat on. She said, oh, you got to take that off too. It got to be skin to skin. I'm like, all right. So I'm like this right here, Birdman hand rub. Like, all right, cool. What you about to do? So, man, she put some kind of cold-ass shit on me, cold or gel, and pulled out something. I ain't have my glasses on, so I really couldn't see what it was. And I got my contacts on now. I want y'all to think I'm up here, can't see shit. But now, so she pulls out some little metal thing and just starts like scraping at my ribs, bro. And I'm like, it's like a pain, but not a pain. So I'm like jumping, laughing. It's kind of ticklish, but it feels weird. But it just feels weird. And wow. And she's just sitting there, just giving me this in-depth, deep tissue thing with just like this tool digging in my side. She turns me on my back and does the same thing, bro. But man, I'm fighting this little cold, whatever I got now. And when I sneeze, bro, it feels like I am dying.
Are your ribs like
no, it's like
up?
It's like right in here. It's like, no, my ribs look fine, but they're tender and shit. Like you could touch them and it's tender.
Wow.
But they were tender anyway. But whatever she did, like I'm sure that she's in like 48 hours, everything's gonna regulate. You'll be fine. But man, it literally feels like, bro, my ribs, the meat is falling off the bone. It feels like, yeah. I said my body feels like chewed up meat. She started laughing. But yeah, man, inside the same brain, bro.
Hey, real quick, before we get into inside the same brain, you talked about Penny doing a podcast. Tesh said, doesn't he do the 2 Cents podcast? He does do the 2 Cents podcast, but it's a different podcast. It's a more of an interview style podcast.
Yeah, he's the host. I'm talking about someone where Penny can just talk hoops.
Talk hoops.
Well, he's the one getting the questions asked to. You know what I mean?
Right. It'd be phenomenal. Yeah.
I want to see him doing something.
2 Cents podcast. He interviews and asks questions. So it'd be a different.
I don't want to see that.
No.
I want someone where people pick his brain. For sure.
Speaking
of picking the brains, man, inside the same ring, talk about something that's on a brother mind. Last segment we talked about pro players, athletes dropping the big joker in these sports shows, these sports talk shows, podcasts, whatever. Which brought up a very common debate within the black community. I'm sure white people have something similar to this debate as well. But there's a game we play called Spades, Kenny. And if you don't know, there are 2 jokers in every deck of cards.
Right.
I don't know why those 2 jokers exist for anything other than spades or in games like that. There might be in the comments. Tell me other games that involve using multiple jokers and why you have a differentiation between the 2 jokers and all. There's another game, Out of Clear War, had 2 jokers. It was a big and a little. That and spades are the only 2 I can think of. But if there are other games that include multiple jokers and like one having one value over the other one, y'all let me know. As you know, you got like you got 2 jokers in the deck, and there's often a debate about which joker is the big joker and which one is the little joker. Ken, there's a picture like that, but both cards are black and white. Do you have that in there, or you just got the?
I just got this one. Yeah.
Okay, well we're gonna do everything off of these 2. That's fine. All right. My question for the people in the comments is, which joker is the big joker and which one is a little joker? This seems like a very simple question, but trust me, there are people that argue about this. There is an argument within the black community about which joker is the big one and which one is the little. I want to see y'all in the comments. I want to get y'all opinion.
Speed is a game.
In speed, the joker makes any number you need. Yeah, I know. But what I'm saying is the differentiating jokers. Like
between
where you have a big joker and a little joker. Tell me a game other than spades where you have a big joker.
So clearly, just off eyesight alone, the one on the right, the color, the big joker without all the words on it. That's the big joker, right?
All right. So if that joker on the right did not have color, would you still say that's the big joker?
Yeah, because he's the big joker. He's the big joker of the cards. He's bigger on the card. He's more of a prominent character.
Right, exactly. John said the same thing. The big one is the big one. Jared said he played with it being the red one. Yeah, exactly. All right. There are people. Trust me, kid. There are people that say that joker on the left is the big joker. And they say that quality guarantee, there's a quality guarantee on the side, basically saying that we promise you that this deck of cards was made with quality and accuracy, and if you have any issues, you can return it, all those type of things. They say that word guarantee on it means that it's a guaranteed book. I've seen people who will argue that that's the big joker, the one that say guarantee. In the comments, tell me if you've seen the same thing. Tell me you've seen the same argument. I know I'm not by myself on this, bro. I know I ain't by myself on this at all.
He said me and the people have it out every time they take the damn
book. Yes, bro. Thank you. I knew I went by myself, bro. Thank you. Jared said I've seen it played with that one. Yep, there are people who say that little bitty joker on that bike in black and white is the big joker because it says guarantee, the guaranteed book. And I've been in houses where they write big on that card and little on the big one. I ain't never understood it. Wait, did Josh Giddey just get signed?
He got signed, 4-year, $100 million.
Oh, breaking news.
Breaking news.
Freak ass Josh Giddey, man. 4-year, $100 million deal with the Chicago Bulls, and you wonder why y'all gonna be ass.
Let me tell you something, man. We posted a video of Josh Giddey a few weeks ago. Mm-hmm. The comment section went Josh Giddey fans came out the woodworks because they were like, Josh Giddey's better than your favorite player. I'm like, bro, it was crazy, man.
So about we did on this?
Yeah, Bluff City Media did. Yeah.
I thought you saying my show posted one. Oh, okay. No. Man, Josh Giddey, he ain't bad. He could play. That is crazy, bro. $25 million a year for that dude is kind of nuts. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna hold you. Let's
go back to the Jokers.
All right, now what you think? Like that's crazy. Like that's a real debate though, bro. I've seen people literally.
Yeah, his father literally go back and forth.
The Giddler, they gave the Giddler $100 million. Speaking of big jokers, bro, right?
Big jokers. Oh, that's the pinnacle. That's the pinnacle joker right there. I call him P. Giddy. Oh, he's talking about Josh Giddey.
Yeah, man. So y'all put y'all comments in. Like I said, this is a weird debate. It's the bigger one, though, man. Y'all are crazy. Get off the drugs, man. Stay clean. Keep the dream. Shout out to Penny. Well, man, we about to get up out of here, Kenny, man. For Kenny Stubblefield, this is Anthony Sain. Shout out to my guy, Damichael Cole. Another great guest today. We'll see y'all tomorrow, man. And we out.
Thank you for listening to the Anthony Sain Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to the Bluff City Media YouTube page. We'll see you back here next time.